Hi there, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Today I'm sharing a tutorial with you on split coat stampers on how to make a surprise pop-up diorama card. As soon as you open the card, it automatically pops into a little diorama that has a little dimension to it, but it folds flat, so it's perfect for mailing without any extra postage. Let's get started. We're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 inches by 10.5 inches. So you can make this from an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. I'm going to use my Stampin' Trimmer to score it. You could also use the Stampin' Scores tool or a score palette, any kind of scoring tool that you have. I'm going to make some simple score marks, with the first one being at 3.5 inches. I'm going to move the cardstock down and score again at 6.5 inches and 7 inches. And the last score line is going to be at 10 inches. Then I'm going to fold on all of the score lines, give it a nice good crease. You could use a bone folder if you want as well to get a nice crease on your score lines. And I'm going to practice closing my card. I want to make sure that it folds flat, and if it doesn't, if it has a little bit of bowing, then you're going to want to just trim a little bit more off of this 1/2 inch piece here. It looks like my card closes pretty good, so I am ready to punch my window. I'm using a 2-inch circle punch to punch the window for the inside of my diorama card. You can use any shape or any size shape that you'd like, but you want to make sure that you punch the hole for the window before you close the card. So now that I have that closed, punched, that's going to be the inside of my card, I'm going to go ahead and put the card together. I'm using sticky strip along the 1/2 inch strip here. You could also use another strong adhesive such as Fast Fuse. And then I'm going to take off the liner and simply close the card. So I have the 3.5 inch side here in the front, and then the sticky strip sticks to the inside, automatically opening into a pop-up card. So the only thing that's left to do then is to decorate the card. For this card, I used the new Painted Petals stamp set from the 2015 Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. Here it is in the catalog on page 19. I also am using the Painted Bloom Designer Series paper, and right at the bottom of the page it tells you what colors are in the paper. So I picked out colors that coordinated with the paper that I wanted to use on the inside. So the colors that I used for this project are Wild Wasabi, Pacific Point, and Hello Honey. So we're going to start stamping. The piece on the front of the card is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and the Hello Honey cardstock behind it is 2 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm going to start with the dot border in Hello Honey. And then I'm going to add the grading with a black ink. I'm using the Memento ink. The next is the leaves, and I'm doing this with the Wild Wasabi. I'm going to add a few more leaves here on the edge. And then I'm going to add the flowers with the Pacific Point. Now if you want to be exact, you'll want to use the Stamp-A-Majig or another stamp positioner to line up your stamps. I did pretty good there. Alright, so that's going to be for the front of the card. I'm going to layer that on the Hello Honey. And then for the inside of the card, I have a 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch piece of white cardstock. And for this, I'm going to stamp the inside greetings and flowers. So I have thank you to go on the inside. This is all from the same Painted Petals stamp set. And then I have some little flowers. We're going to start with the stems in Wild Wasabi at the bottom. And then we're going to add the flowers with Pacific Point. I'm going to put some snail adhesive on the back of this piece. Then I'll take my card out, and while it's open, I'm going to center this where I want it to go, and then glue it down to the inside of the card. The other pieces that are on the inside of the card are the Painted Blooms Designer Series paper. This is 3 inch by 1.5 inches. and a piece of wild wasabi cardstock that is 1/2 inch by 3 inches. To finish off the front of the card, I'm using a strip of wild wasabi cardstock that is 4 3/4 inch by 2 inches, and I'm going to punch it with the new Ornate Tag Topper Punch, also from the Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. I have a little piece of the Painted Blooms cotton twine, and I'm going to tie that onto the tag. That's going to go on the front of the card, and then I'll just adhere the greeting on top. So again, here's the finished card. Make sure to check out the gallery and upload your own version of the pop-up diorama card, and check out my other samples. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping!